Hey guys, Brian here with the Forest to Farm Project. Today we're doing a little something different for you. We've had a few inquiries as to what kind of camera gear we use to get all this done. So we figured we'd give you a quick overview of what we're using, and then later on we're going to come back and do a detailed video on each item, as well as accessories for it and other options when it comes to that item. So we've got quite a few things here for you today, and we have narrowed this down over the past year and a half, 2 years that we've been filming. Man, it seems like that's crazy to think about. But anyway, we started off filming, we do video and photography for one of our businesses. And we started off filming with a $7,000 camera that was big and bulky and gives great video, but it's a lot to haul through the woods and it's also a lot to risk. So over the past couple of years, we've narrowed it down to practically priced equipment that if it does get destroyed, it's not the end of the world, which we don't want it to get destroyed. But then also something that is easy to carry, easy for Dad and I to work and not have to worry about pulling focus or making sure the audio is just perfect. So we've really narrowed it down to what we feel is a good batch of equipment that we can go out and have one little bag and we're good to go. Additionally, I'd like to say all of this we have purchased ourselves. We've not been paid for anything. We've not been paid to advertise any of this. This is just what we've found to be the best items to use for us anyway. So let's get started. First up, we have our main camera now is the Sony RX100 Mark V or V, and it's a 20 megapixel camera that does 4K video. It'll do 1080p as well. The 4K is only for about 5 minutes because it is a lot for this little camera to do 4K. Has a nice flip up screen. This is actually one of the best vlogging cameras that there is right now. Does excellent autofocus. And the rotating screen really helps because when you're in selfie mode, you can see what you're talking about. One really nice feature of this camera, all of your YouTube thumbnails, you either have to stage or grab a screenshot. Well, those screenshots aren't always the most crisp image. This camera actually takes pictures while it's filming every, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 seconds. So you have a pile of high-resolution images already taken that you don't have to go back and stage, and generally speaking, we find a great image out of that to use for our thumbnail. We also find some pretty funny ones because when Dad and I are goofing around, it captures that. So we've had some good laughs out of what this camera gives us. Also, it does an excellent job of high frame rate shooting, so you can do super slow motion. We'll get into some of that when we do the detail video, but it will shoot up to 960 frames per second. Now, it'll only do that for 2 seconds, but it only captures a 2-second video, but that turns it into about a 2.5 minute video. And it has a feature that will allow you to start the recording prior to the event happening or after the event happening. So if you know you want to stage something, you stage it, and then as soon as it's done, you hit your record button and it records the previous 2 seconds, which is a really nice feature. Next up, one of the things we use on a very regular basis would be a GoPro. We have a GoPro 3, 4, and 5 here. The 3 was our first one, and now it's our risk taker. If we have something dangerous that we're going to do or something really dusty, we'll use this because it's the least expensive one to lose. And all of these do great video. This one only does 1080. These two here will do 4K, which is great because you can shoot the image larger than you need and then scale it down to fit a 1080 video or a 720 if you're going to do smaller. These are excellent at doing time lapses. The 3 does time lapses by taking individual photos, so you have to import them in and do a sequence file giving you a time-lapse video. The Hero 4, on the other hand, does a time-lapse video. So you literally import a video and you're done and it's ready to go. It's extremely easy to use. And they do a phenomenal job, especially when you shoot it in the highest resolution because it's much larger than your video. So you can scale it down or scale it up and make it fit your video screen and eliminate parts that you don't want to see or include everything and get a massive image, which is really nice, especially if you're doing a time lapse where you're showing the clouds going by or something. Gives you a lot of nice video to work with. One of the things we use to power that, since the GoPro has a very short battery life, we use an external battery pack, and you just plug it into the GoPro using the cable, and then instead of using the waterproof housing, you get one of these little, just a little non-waterproof case, and they have them where you can put the LCD backpack on the back as well. You plug your battery pack in. When you turn it on, we did a documentary on a park build, and we ran this for 5 days, I believe, off of an external battery pack, and never had a hiccup. Had it under a covered structure so that it wouldn't get wet, and we actually took one of our waterproof housings and drilled a hole in the side, so just in case rain hit it or moisture or anything. But we let it run 5 days and never had a problem. Did an amazing job, and we got some beautiful time-lapse footage out of that. And we would like to thank Dan Page, who does the RX100 in North Carolina. It's a ultra marathon through the forest. It's a very strenuous race, but we've done a couple of documentaries for him on it, and he gave us a couple of these battery packs, and they are phenomenal. Not only they give you a battery indicator, but if you click it twice, you get a nice little flashlight, which is really handy at night when you're out there filming, or if you're just trying to look around for something in your pack and you need a flashlight, you've got one right there. One of the most crucial things for good video is audio. You can have decent video and great audio, and people are going to overlook it. If you've got poor audio, you can give it up. I don't care how good your video is. I am not going to watch a video that has poor audio because it's annoying to listen to. It drives me crazy. So we started off with some expensive Sennheiser body pack and receiver. They do a really good job. Every now and then, if somebody's running a ham radio nearby or something like that, you can get interference and you'll get some popping and cracking, different things. And also, you have to worry about those expensive units. And then you also have to have another unit to plug that into, because it uses a different type of connector than your standard 3/8. It uses an XLR 3-pin that is a heavy-duty unit. You got to have a large recorder for that. So we were doing a rafting trip documentary, and we came across, we wanted something that was going to be safe. We knew we were going to have multiple people were recording, so we needed something that was inexpensive and would give us good audio. We settled on the Sony IC PX333, and all this is, I turned it on. All this is a standard voice recorder. It was about $35. It has an input for an external microphone, so you just plug your lav mic into it, and that's what I'm wearing right now. It's what we've been using for the past year, and these do a really good job. Now the speaker's not that great when you listen to it, just to make sure you're still recording. Or, once you've recorded to listen to your audio, the speaker is not good. You can't go by that. But what it records based off your lav is phenomenal. And these can slip in any pocket. They work great. They've got a built-in memory card, so it'll hold a ton of audio files. I think the one I've got on right now has about 25 audio files, just because I haven't gone through and deleted them since we've been recording for the last little bit. And they run off of AAA batteries, and they run forever. So it's a really good investment. It's $35. I don't know that they make this version anymore, but I'm sure they make something like it. And I'm going to include links for everything here in the description below. You can't beat this handy little recorder. And the great thing is, if it does get destroyed, it's not the end of the world. Also, it'll fit in a little waterproof bag. They make waterproof bags, I'll show you in the detail video, that has a 3/8 jack for the headphones, so you can put this in a waterproof bag, hang it around your neck if you're getting in your water or anything, and you don't have to worry about it. And what plugs into the voice recorder is your lav mic. Now, clip came off, but this is where your audio quality comes in. This is a Tram TR50. These run about $250, I think. The price has varied over the last few years. We bought these actually about 6 years ago, I think, and they were a good bit more expensive if I remember correctly, but the price has come down as technology has gotten better. And we always put our little muff on here because it helps when you're out in wind or just extra noise that's around. It helps filter that out a little bit and helps filter the pops from your voice. When we get to the microphone section of the videos, we will do a comparison. We have multiple microphones. We'll be doing a comparison of the Rode Smart Lav, which is a microphone you can actually plug into your cell phone, so you don't need an external recorder, and it will record your audio. Just throw your cell phone in your pocket, you're good to go. We'll do a comparison between the Rode Smart Lav, the Sennheiser, I can't remember what model it is, but I'll have it in the video. It's a Sennheiser lav that came with our Sennheiser body packs, and then the Tram TR50, and then we have a lav somewhere that is just a random lav. We really don't even know how it showed up, but it's one that we've got. So we'll give you a good comparison of those different lavs, and I'll pull them into our editing program, Adobe Audition, and show you the different waveform files. And it's amazing the difference in quality you can see in the waveform files as far as the clarity. It's unbelievable the difference that you'll get in a quality lav versus a less expensive lav. But you don't have to have this. Like the Rode Smart Lav, I think, is around $60, and it's an excellent lav for the money, and you don't have to worry about it. And if you're on a budget, I mean, if you have no money whatsoever to get started, but you want to do something, you can get an older GoPro and the Rode Smart Lav, plug it into your phone, and you're good to go. You can get started. Oh, I didn't mention the price on this camera is right around $1,000. So it's not cheap, but it's an amazing camera, and the versatility it gives you is unbelievable. Excellent camera for the money. Next up, we're going to talk about the Ikan Fly X3 Plus. And this may look a little funky, and you're like, the camera's not level, but all I do is hit the power button on the bottom, it stabilizes out, and this is a 3-axis gimbal that allows me to move, and the camera stays nice and smooth, and it makes an excellent stabilizer for when you're walking around with a GoPro. This will do a GoPro or a smartphone. So if you're using something like an iPhone 7 or something that has a good video on it, you can clip your phone to this. They have a different mount for it, or you can clip the GoPro to it, and you can walk around and film, and it does an amazing job at keeping the camera level. I think this was about $250, really not bad. The battery lasts a very long time. I honestly have not run it dead yet, and I've run it for several days at a time, off and on. It just does an excellent job, excellent battery life, and then you just pop the battery out, plug it into their little adapter, and it's charged in a couple hours, you're good to go. Up next in our filming arsenal is our latest addition, and that would be the GoPro Karma drone. And it has been an excellent addition to our filming arsenal. If you don't need audio, it replaces a slider and a jib amazingly well, because you can get such dynamic, smooth shots. It just does an awesome job. And one great thing about it, if you're looking at getting a stabilizer, this comes with the gimbal here. You just unlock it and pull it out. And then you have a handle that you can plug it into, and you've got a gimbal just like this. So it's a really, really nice package. And they run, if you don't need the camera, you can get them for around $700. They run up to $1,200 depending on which model you get and which camera you get with it. We got the GoPro 5 because it has an LCD built into the back of the camera, which is really nice, because on here you can't see what you're filming, because this will only work with a standard thickness GoPro. You can't have an LCD built in the back, so you can't see anything because of this giant control box on the back. Whereas the GoPro 5 and Karma Grip, there's very little in the way, so you can see what you're filming. With this one, you've got to be really intuitive and see in your head what you're shooting. You've really got to know how wide that camera is going to spread. So this is a really nice addition. You don't have to think as much, and you can just run and gun. It's awesome. And this Karma is just unbelievable what it can do for you. As you've seen in our previous videos, you can get some amazing footage covering the property. Just really dynamic footage, like when the Komatsu was digging up the giant stumps for us. Just really adds a lot of versatility to what you can do, and it's just fun. I mean, everybody's got to have a toy in their filming arsenal, and right now that's our toy. It will be for a long time. Hope you guys have enjoyed this quick overview video of our camera gear that we're using to produce these videos for you. And if you're looking at doing a YouTube channel, I hope it gives you some ideas of what you can get to get your channel started. And if you're already doing a channel, maybe it gives you some ideas of other routes you can go to improve what you're doing. So be sure to click that subscribe button below, hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications when we post new videos. Be sure to give us that thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, comment, share with your friends, and check back often. Have a good one, guys.